short term.
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Yes, both of them. Can you email, you got our email address?
Yeah,
Can you send
Tasco
that out?
one, go back to November 5th on the
No,
blog.
no, I believe Pat is the DNR, you know, public, communications person.
You can get that out to
And he
us
should
back.
send that to you.
Which one are you looking for?
Let me just,
Yeah, the task is already out. That got logged out.
a task that we put on the blog site is a link that directs you directly to the DNR site where that report is.
Yeah, if you pull up our Bayou Corn reports, I think it's under the tab for subsidence studies.
All right.
So that one's already there, and we did that probably a couple of months ago.
I think it was November the 5th.
November 5th, you send me the date.
Sure, sure,
You got my email address?
yes, sure.
Would you agree though, Patrick, that whatever we generate, it becomes public?
Yeah, if we touch it's public, right?
Right.
All right, my question again is at the last meeting, town hall meeting we had at Assumption Community Center, when we talked about dual phase vacuum system, was that there was gonna be a study done on it.
You talking about the one where they were running the numbers, or the one where they actually did the study out
No,
here west of the burn?
After the discussion, it was decided that a study would be done on the subsidence, the effect on subsidence.
Mm-hmm.
And so now they're proposed, is that 2 sites, Mark? I'm not sure. Is it 2 sites that you're talking about?
Yeah, but let's don't lose fact. We're not talking about dual phase vapor extraction. We're just using those wells that we put in if and when we were going to do that technology. This is not. This
All
is
right,
not
well,
dual phase.
maybe I misunderstood because I thought you said dual phase.
No. We're using the wells in
Yeah,
place.
let me summarize what happened. When we were considering dual phase, we installed 2 wells, and we were in the process of beginning pilot testing of dual phase vapor extraction. It was during that time period after construction began on those wells that we realized that there was too much risk from water production. And that was when Dr. Garlinger, who works for Ardent, who works for Tetra Tech, provided some modeling results, preliminary modeling results that indicated that there was a relatively high risk of subsidence. So we terminated that work. When I mentioned dual phase a while ago, Nick, it was just to refer to the wells, and then we're going to convert them to passive vent wells.
Yeah, today we've probably got maybe 100 gallons of water of each one of those when we developed them. I mean, that's all that's been pumped out of those wells. So those
Nick,
are
on
virgin wells.
subsidence, what's going forward, Mark talked about the ORW38 test, which is on the north side. Everybody knows where it is, next to BC2. As part of that work plan, DNR is requiring very close-spaced and frequent monitoring right around that when they're doing the test. And we're going out in 3 directions all the way around it. Now that is on a piece of Texas Brine owned property, and they have to report that to DNR weekly, because there's been a lot of issues on consolidation and subsidence. The best way to start answering that is do the ORW38 test and collect some real data in the community that's high precision. I think either Fensterbrocker or Miller do it. Both of them are very qualified to do it. They'll do it. And that's going to be the best test to help us answer some of these subsidence consolidation issues. So instead of just modeling and running numbers, we decided to take the opportunity on that test. Let's go get some hardcore numbers in and around the test. And because they're doing it daily and it's being reported weekly, if it looks like things are greater than maybe we're comfortable with, all Texas Brine has to do is stop the test, okay? But we've got to get some hard data, and that's going to be the best data we've got, because it's in the community, and it's going to be laid out in a very detailed network.
Is that the only location that you're going to sample?
Well, after they get 38 done, we've got a similar location 21, which is over on Crawfish Stew. When they do the dewatering test there, that'll be another one we collect data on. We'll see what that data looks like and then take it from there.
All right. I guess, you know, there seems to be a lot of information that you guys know that maybe you figure, you know, it's insignificant to us, but it's, you know, we've been screaming for meetings just to be briefed on what's going on and information like what you're talking about, and, you know.
Because of the consolidation issue, and we wanted, DNR requested weekly reporting so that can be communicated back to the community, because everybody in this room knows that's a big deal. And that's why it's requested to be reported weekly, and then it can be put in a form you can kind of understand it, as opposed to just pile of numbers. But that's why the reporting was set up the way it was, because we knew it was a big deal.
The plates that are being put in, you know, just to address movement and subsidence and everything. And when I look at the blog, I see that information is being collected, but where is it being collected and where is it available to us?
What I can tell you, Nick, is we're gonna talk to DNR and we'll see. The problem with a lot of survey data, it's just a pile of numbers. And can it be put in a format so you can understand it better? Certainly we'll work with DNR and see if we can get it in a format that's easier to understand.
And if you got, or anybody's got some particular thing, say, hey, this is an information vacuum, we need more information on this part or that part.
Well, I think what he's talking about, if you read the blog, there's a lot of surveying and stuff, and
Where's the
the
results?
data's
Yeah.
going to DNR,
There's
but right now it's just a pile of numbers. And can that be digested into a form that's easier to
When we
understand?
find out really what's happening, once we find out that the subsidence of the current, the south berm is sinking, at that point, we know that all these measurements y'all have been taking, that's what it amounted to, you know? It's just down the road from day to day.
And it's very, and I understand it's very difficult, just like Dr. Heacock says, is the fact that once it started sinking, then they rebuilt it, now you have to establish the benchmarks again, because the benchmarks are now underwater.
So what
And so
I'm
you
hearing
have to understand
is,
that.
Texas Brine is collecting a lot of data on subsidence and everything else. What I'm hearing from you, you would like it in a format that's accessible to you, that's easier to understand.
you know, maybe.
We're looking at it as it comes in.
As long as we're informed.
Yeah.
Well,
But, you know, Nick would like to see some additional data, and we're trying to make everybody, Texas Brine is doing a good job of collecting subsidence data, I can tell you that. It's just now, it's a matter of communicating with the public in a format that's easier to understand.
Yeah, we're not geologists,
Right.
so it's like we don't understand data as you would put it out and understand it.
And a table
Yeah,
of
we
numbers
just
probably
need-
doesn't mean a whole lot,
Right, it's hard to understand.
and we can do that.
For those of you that have seen like the
submitted-
attached to subsidence, look, I mean, is that a format that works for you, kind of the broad ranges of what's moving how fast?
Well,
The study that was done in November, is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, just trying to figure out, I mean, what's the
It
best way to
might
get out
actually-
there that makes it useful for you?
It might actually be helpful to repost that for people and to clarify.
Yeah, it's, I mean, it's on the website now, we can. something
That's
like
right. It's on the
Make a link.
DNR website, if you know how to find it. But it might be helpful to give people a quick link.
We can push the link back out.
and then, and include, you know, this new area you're talking about, you know, whatever areas that you're sampling, you know,
Well, I'm thinking, given the sensitivity, and once the ORW 38 test gets started, probably about halfway through it, it's gonna be beneficial probably to have another get-together here, where we can talk specifically about that. Here's what we're seeing, here's what's going on with the gas, just as an informational meeting.
yeah.
Yeah, I would propose that we get together probably once a month at least, and we can schedule that with John, get it out on the blog, and we'll be here, and we'll make it happen.
All right.